In this video, I'm going to go over how to start a race with the black box controls, as well as how to do a pit stop. So the first thing I want to note is that this track that we're doing this week for Oulton Park, the outlap, the lap that you start the race with the safety car, will be shorter. It usually goes around the full track, but I don't believe it's letting me do that setting right now. So it will just be an outlap around the last quarter of the track. So with that being said, when you join the grid, the first thing you want to do is go to your black box controls. So with that, you're going to use the blue joystick on the right side of the wheel, the bottom right side. So you could click it left and right to navigate the black box, as well as up and down to move up and down. And then you can twist it to the right and left to increment and decrement. That you will use for your fuel controls, which I will show you in a second when I grid up. And then the last control, which is the most important, is the blue button, the blue LED button on the top right side of the wheel. You press that to actually physically press and depress controls. So the first things you're going to want to do in your race is when you join the grid in your fuel and your tires section, you'll notice that both of those have boxes that are checked. So what that means is that next time you pit, that your both your fuel and your tires will be changed. So what you want to do is, regardless of your division, you want to make sure that you uncheck your tires so that next time you pit, your tires don't get changed and you lose about 20 to 30 seconds. The next thing is if you're in Division 1 and 2, you want to make sure that your add fuel is checked for the feature race only, not the sprint race, because you won't need more fuel for the sprint race. But for the feature race, you want to make sure that the box is checked so that you get fuel next time you pit stop, and you want to make sure that you add the right amount, which is, again, I will show you once I join the grid. Now, if you're in Division 3, you will never need to stop for fuel. So you have to make sure that the begin fueling box is unchecked. So I'm going to join the grid now, and I'm going to use the bottom right, the blue joystick. I'm going to toggle to the right a few times until I see this fuel box. So now I want to move down, so I'm going to click down 3 times to where it says begin fueling. And then here I will now turn this off with the blue button. So now you'll see the box is unchecked, which means that next time I pit, the pit crew will not add fuel to my car. The next thing I want to do, and the last thing, is go to the right one more time over to tires. You'll see that they're all checked. So you can individually uncheck these tires, but a shortcut is if you go here to where it says dry, you're going to press the blue button, and you'll see that all the tires are now unchecked. So what that means is next time I go to the pit stop to stop, I will not need to change my the crew will not change my tires or my fuel. So now the race is about to start. You'll see here this is a much quicker outlap. The pace car is about to go in and we are about to go green. So I'm just gonna go to the back of the grid so I could talk to you guys. So now I'm just gonna do a quick lap around and then I'm gonna show you how to do a pit stop. So the basics of the pit stops is to start, you're going to see 2 cones with a white line in between the cones on the road. So what that is that is the line at which you must stop and slow down to what the pit speed limit is. So I believe on all the tracks, the pit speed limit is 37 miles per hour. So what that means is that when you're in the pit lane, you cannot go above 37 miles per hour. Now you do have a button called the pit speed limiter button. So this is the green button on the wheel, and you'll see right now when I press it on my dashboard on the left side, the yellow light that says PSL is flashing. So that means my pit speed limiter is active. So you'll see my car is still slowing down, but the speed limiter is actually set to 31 miles per hour. So what that means is, as you see, I'm fully on the gas, but because it's activated, I can't go above 31 miles per hour. So I'm going to go ahead and deactivate that and show you how to pit. So here the pit lane is approaching. So I'm still going fast, but you'll see I start to slow down now, and I pass these cones, hit the limiter, and I'm now able to pit. The next thing is when I see my pit crew, I'll go here, stop in front of him, and I am now in the pits. So if you see here, I'll just show you. If I were to add tires by pressing the blue button, my car is now raised, and you'll see the pit service time, the timer going off, which means that my car is currently in service. So here, note that I pressed the pit speed limiter once I got into the pits, and since then, I still have not pressed it again. So my pit speed limiter is still active, and I want to leave this on until I leave the pits. So once they drop my car in a few seconds, I will show you how I drive out. They've dropped my car now, so I can now go into gear and begin driving out. So my pit speed limiter is still on. So as you see, my car won't go above 31 miles per hour. And now you see these two cones here with the white line. That is the end of the pit lane. So once I cross this, I could press my pit speed limiter and get out of the pit speed limiter. So I can now go as fast as I want. The last thing to note is you now have this line on the left side followed by a blue cone with a blue line. So what this is the line to exit the pits. So you cannot cross this line on on the left side, this white line. You cannot cross it until you cross this blue line right here. Once you've crossed that blue line, you're now back on the track and you can drive anywhere you'd like. And that is all.